Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Shannon and this is One Spark of Magic, and today we are doing a full resort tour of one of the newest hotels here at Universal, Stella Nova. Stella Nova is a galaxy themed prime value resort here at Universal, and it's located right across the street from Epic Universe, which is one of its biggest draws. Today we're going to do a resort tour, we're going to do a room tour, we're going to see all the amenities that it has to offer, and we're going to go through who this hotel is for. So come on, let's go, let's get started. So I did check into the hotel last night, so we are going to rewind this back to the past and give you the full room tour, and then I'll meet you back here in just a couple of minutes. Turning to your left, this is where you're going to have your wash area. So you're going to have your mirror with some nice lighting around the outside there, and also one sink with some extra counter space. There is a little bit of storage here, however, they already have it full with different toiletries, hair dryer, Kleenexes, and towels. So there's not a lot of actual storage space here. There are no drawers. However, there is plenty of space underneath for you to put some bags if you needed to. I would definitely say this is not storage friendly here, but it's passable. All right, moving over to the shower and toilet area. So you have your standard toilet, which is good, necessary. Your extra towels there. And you have this nice walk-in shower. One of the things I do like about Stella Nova here is that they have a cute little shampoo and conditioners that are themed to the hotel here. Super cute here, Cosmic Ember. And you also have your bath soaps as well. So it's pretty cool. Now moving on to the most important part of the room, where you're gonna sleep. Over here, you're going to have two standard queen beds with a nightstand in between. One of the cool things here that they have is this artwork that is up above the beds here of the galaxy, and it is super awesome because these pictures are actually from NASA. So these aren't just drawings of what we think it is. These are pictures that they've actually taken. Now, just a little bit of a heads up, these lamps that are right behind me here, these will be off when you come in, and in order to turn them on, there's little switches on the side that you'll need to use. It takes a little second to figure that out, but if you just go right on the side here, you'll be able to turn them on. All right, continuing on here, you have your coffee area. You have your coffee maker, you have your different coffees here. These aren't Keurigs, so this is a little bit different than the other hotels. So I'll be interested to see this, but you do have regular and decaf, as well as your condiments and the to-go containers there. And you also have your ice bucket as well. Underneath here is where you're gonna find your mini fridge. It's gonna be a pretty decent size for this level of hotel. Plenty of space to put some drinks and maybe some leftovers if you have any. Okay, then you have your dressers here with 4 drawers. And this is where you're gonna find your hotel room as well as a charging station. This does pop open, so you can have it shut if you need to, and then just have it pop open. This here gives you the rundown of the hotel. You do have a flat screen TV in here, and it is one that moves, so you can adjust it to wherever you need it to be, depending on where you're sitting. And speaking of sitting, we have our seating area here with a nice size couch, a little bit bigger than a love seat here, and a little desk here you can use for working or eating, anything that you need to do. There's a little table there that does move, so it can be adjusted. If you've watched any of my room tours before, you may already know this, but I do have a list that I like to go through and just see if that hotel room really has everything I need. So we're gonna run through a couple of those right now. So first on that list is going to be room. Is there plenty of room to walk? And actually this room does have plenty of walking space where you could have 4 people in here and people be able to move around you. That is my biggest thing. I don't need it to be supersized, but it does need to have some room. So plenty of walking room and people to be able to be in the same area at the same time. Next up on my list is storage. So this room has some storage. It's not an ept of it. However, it's not a lot. So if you do have 4 people in this room, it's going to be a little tight on that. As I mentioned when we were going through the bathroom area earlier, there's no storage area in the bathroom or in the wash area. And if you have 4 girls staying here, that could be a little rough. However, it does have a nice sized dresser here to be able to store some things. I will just say the drawers are a little on the smaller side. They're a little short. I was putting some of my electronics in there so I could film the room tour without any of my stuff around, and I couldn't even fit my electronics bag in there. So that was a little surprising. So it's not very deep, so it's not gonna hold a lot of stuff, but if you're just here for a couple days, shouldn't be an issue. However, when it comes to the nightstand area, there is just one of them right in the center. So if you are having 4 people in here, the people on the outside do not have a place to plug in their phone or to be able to put anything down. So it's a little bit of a negative. Plus, it doesn't really have any storage either. Usually there's a couple of drawers or at least one decent sized drawer. This drawer is very tiny and small. But it does have the Bible. Good book, recommend. Though there may not be a ton of storage for you to unload your bags, there is plenty of space to put bags. Underneath the couch and underneath the dressers, there is plenty of space to be able to put your suitcases, as well as in the closet. I did have some of my luggage in there, and that's not a small amount. So a lot can fit in there, so there is that. However, if you want to unpack your bags, if you're here for a couple of days like me, if I'm staying more than a night or 2, I like to unpack. Not a lot of space for that, but plenty of space for you to store your actual bags at. Another thing on my checkoff list is going to be the outlets. Is there enough outlets to hold and charge everything for the amount of people that can actually be in the room? This room does have 10 regular outlets, 5 USBs, and 3 UVCs. Also on the alarm clock, they do have a wireless charging for your phone. So totality, they actually have 19 charging stations or 19 outlets that you can be using for a room for 4 people. That's just slightly under 5 per person. So it's actually not too bad. I think that is pretty good, especially if you're a family. You're not going to have maybe nearly as much as if you have 4 adults. So another thing on my list is an obvious one, I'm sure, but it's how comfortable the bed and the pillows are. I mean, that is the reason we're here, is to get a good night's sleep so we can have an epic adventure the next day. So that means we must test for science. So first thoughts of my science experiment here, very comfortable. It seems like a very firm bed, but with a pillow top on it. So there's a lot of support, yet comfort, very relaxing for after a day at Epic, because we all know that it's hot and crazy there. Pretty good beds, not gonna lie. Now the pillows. Not the worst, not the best, but for a value resort, I give it a thumbs up. So the pillows have a nice little bit of firmness to it, but they do have a lot of cushion to it. I like my pillows a little bit more on the firm side than this. That's why I said it's not the best, but it's not the worst. But they're still really comfortable, still feel pretty brand new. I mean, this hotel just opened up earlier this year, so not too shabby. So since it's after 9 o'clock, I didn't get to check in today till after 8:30. So we're gonna head down and get some food and have a little bit more chit chat about the hotel. All right, so just some basic information about the hotel. So check-in time is at 4 o'clock p.m. and check-out is at 11 o'clock a.m. Now, housekeeping is every other day. So if there's anything that you need in between the cleanings, such as getting your trash changed, or if you need additional towels, you can always call housekeeping, or you can go down to the front desk, or you can use their specialty friendly chat on their text messaging. All right, so since it was getting pretty late and we needed to get some dinner, I came down to the cafe here. So there's Cosmos Cafe. It's open from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and we're here right at 9:30. So I'm getting in right underneath the clock here, but we're just gonna get some wings and some salad to get us through, and then I'm gonna head to bed. And then tomorrow morning, I'm gonna wake up and give you guys a full resort tour. Good morning, friends. It is now morning time. I have gotten myself up, got myself ready for Epic Universe, but there is a couple of things that I need to go over here at the hotel before I do that. One of the things here in the room that I wanted to show you was the view. So this view is a poolside view. So it doesn't have an overlook to the Epic Universe. However, it still has a very nice view, but I wanted to show you this because it's on my checklist of things that I look for when I am looking at different rooms. So I wanted to show you what this looks like. Nothing spectacular, but again, still a cute room. Last night it was a little hard to see because of the glare from the window because it was so dark outside, but here is the pool view here. And then if you look over here to the side, you can see the sister hotel, Terra Luna, over there in the distance. So you can make out some of the rides there from SeaWorld as well. But yeah, you just have a nice little pool view here. Again, nothing spectacular, but nothing to complain about either. Personally, if I was going to be staying here, I would not get the pool view because you'd be on the other side. And though you don't get a glimpse into the park like you do when you're staying at Helios, you would still have a closer view to the park. So to me, that's more important than a pool view. But hey, to each their own, but I wanted to show you this so you can see exactly what it looks like. But now we're gonna go do a quick resort tour and I'm gonna show you all the amenities and everything we have here at this hotel to see if you and your family want to stay here at Stella Nova on your next trip to Epic Universe. Oh, and before we head out to do our full resort tour here, I also need to tell you about the beds and the pillows and how they did overnight. It was you can definitely tell these are still new beds. I mean, this hotel just opened up, I believe it was the end of January. So they're still a little too firm. Was it passable? Yes. Was it a little bit hard to sleep? Yeah, it was. The bed was a little too firm. I had my own pillows with me, so that wasn't an issue at all. So no issues on that side. But there was so much noise. And I don't mean like people were being noisy outside. My refrigerator kept making this clicking noise all night long, and it would wake me up like it was that loud. I had to put the TV on pretty loud for what I would normally have a TV on when I'm trying to go to sleep, to block out that noise. So that was a little jarring. And anytime you heard anything out in the hallway, it seemed like it echoed. I don't know if it's because there's just not a lot of carpet in the area, so it's like it echofies. I don't know if that's a word, but if it's a word, it echofied. But yeah, it was a little bit on the noisy side. I'm sure if you can wear earplugs, I mean, it might be beneficial here. Was it obnoxious? No, it was just a little bit of a nuisance. But just keep that in mind. You may need some earplugs. First nights in a hotel can sometimes be difficult too, so that could be part of it. So if anything's different tonight, then I will put in a correction here. However, I would say iffy, bring sound machine, bring earplugs, whatever you need to be able to block out the other noises. And again, the refrigerator thing might just be my room, not sure. But now it's time for our resort tour. So let's get going. All right, so now it's time to get this resort tour going. Now starting out here on the exterior of the building, you can see all of these stainless steel tiles, and there are actually over 140,000 making up the exterior of this hotel. And as you walk in to the lobby area, you're first going to come underneath this circular figure, and it's supposed to be representing of a black hole. So it's kind of cool. Everything has a very rounded shape to it in this hotel, kind of giving that whole thing of being sucked into the black hole. Now, when you first walk into the lobby, you're going to be met with your standard Universal Lowe's hotel amenities. You're going to have your luggage area where they're going to be able to keep your luggage if you're checking in that day before your check-in time, or if you're checking out, you can also keep your luggage there and be able to go to the park, City Walk, anything, come back and pick that up later if you want to. You're also going to find your check-in counter as well as your vacation planning. Vacation planning is where you can get any of your tickets that you need for Epic Universe, any of the other Universal parks as well. You're also going to have your Universal store that's going to have some of your basic amenities in here, like medicines and other accoutrements that you might have forgotten at home. But it also is going to have some Epic exclusive merchandise in there as well. So if you forgot to pick something up at the park, you might be able to find it here. It's very limited amount of merchandise, but there is tons in there. This one's a pretty decent size, and there is an exit and an entrance on 2 different spots in the lobby. But if you continue on into the lobby, you can see everything, like I said before, is we've got that rounded feature to it, like as if you're in a black hole. So I really love the motif here. I love that they kept to the theming. Everything's very bright, very modern and sleek looking, and with that galaxy space theme as well. And there's tons of seating around here. It's kind of nice to be able to just sit here. There's plenty of seating, so much so that you can kind of relax down in the lobby. It doesn't seem too crowded. I stayed at Helios a couple weeks ago, and the lobby was so tiny that it almost felt claustrophobic and very loud and not relaxing at all. So it was not great to be in the lobby area, but we're here at Stella Nova, so let's continue on here. So that is one good thing they have, but they also do have the lobby bar. This is going to be the Nova Bar. It opens at 5 p.m. on every day. Again, sleek, modern design. You also have TVs here for anybody that wants to watch any sports, and tons of seating, so you can sit at the bar or the lounge area as well. But we're going to continue on to the food that is available here. So over here, they have the Cosmos Cafe and Market. Now, the market is going to give you your grab-and-go items, your pastries, your coffees, your snacks, sodas, and even like grab-and-go sandwiches and salads. Their hours are from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. However, if you do want pizza delivered to your room, they will do that until midnight. Continuing on to the cafe area. Now, this area has tons of seating and tons of different options for your food. Right now, they are serving breakfast, so those are the menus that are up here now. But this is where I ate last night and got my wings and my salad, which were both very delicious. The wings were nice and good and crispy and spicy. It was so good. But here they're going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They serve breakfast from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., lunch from 11:30 to 5, dinner from 5 to 10, and again, pizza delivery until midnight. Okay, right behind me is where you can find the fitness center. Now, this is open from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's a bunch of people in there working out, so I do not want to film in there right now. However, they do have free weights, Stairmaster, a rower. They do have treadmills, and they have a full circuit as well. So there's a lot of equipment in there for you to be able to use to get your workout on while you're on vacation. But right next to the fitness center is where you're going to find the game room. And there's a bunch of little kids in there, and I try not to get kids on camera as much as possible. I know it's kind of impossible when you're doing theme parks, but so I'm just gonna give you a quick glance in here right behind me. Now, the game room is open from 8 a.m. till 11, and you're gonna have some of your classic arcade games. They also do have a rec center that's over here. It looks like they have some type of conference or training going on in there. So they do have that. Just, it looks like a pretty plain conference room, but if that is something that you are gonna be needing. If you continue making your way through the lobby over towards the elevators, you are going to find your Avis car rental. This is where you can rent your own Avis cars, so you don't have to worry about picking it up at the airport. All right, we've made our way outdoors to see all the amenities that they have to offer out here. So when you first walk out, there's a nice fire pit out here, as well as the 10,000 square foot resort style pool. Now, what is crazy about this is there is tons of seating out here at the pool, tons of lounge chairs. I don't think you're going to be missing. Last night when I got here, the pool was pretty packed full of people, and there was still plenty of seating out here for people. So that is a good thing. But there's also tables right out here too if you want to bring your food out here. If the weather's a little nice and you just want to get some fresh air, this is another nice spot to be at as well. They also do have a splash pad for the kids, and they do have some games out and about like ping pong and other items that you can play while you're out here at the pool too and relaxing. All right, well, let's get a closer look at this pool area. So the pool is open from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. And again, this is a 10,000 square foot resort style pool. There are lifeguards on duty, as well as flotation devices for your little ones if they are needing that. Another cool thing they do sometimes over here by the pool is pool movies. So they'll have some Universal movies playing out here by the pool. You can relax in your lounge chair, be in the pool, hang out at the bar, watching your favorite Universal movies. It's a really cool thing if you have time to just relax and luxuriate on your vacation. The pool area does have its own restaurant and bar. You're going to have the Galaxy Grill. That's where you're going to find your poolside favorites. One of the cool things is that you can actually order directly from your seat at by the pool and go pick it up over at the Galaxy Grill and have your food. Makes it super convenient and easy for you if you're out here hanging out by the pool all day. There also is the Galaxy Bar. Now this is where you're going to get your favorite poolside drink, and they do have some specialty drinks just for Stella Nova. You're also going to be able to find a nice, decent sized spa here too, which would be perfect for a nice, relaxing way to calm down your muscles from a full day at the parks. Just grab a drink from Galaxy Bar, take a dip in the spa. Nothing says luxury like that. So what are some of the perks of staying here at Stella Nova? Well, first of all, you get early park admission. Now, early park admission is the ability to be able to get into the parks, any of the parks, including Epic Universe, 1 hour before regular guests do. Now, this is for all Universal hotels, not just Stella Nova, but that early park admission can really get you a lot of stuff done before the rest of the crowds come flying in. Of course, there's also the free shuttles that take you to all of the Universal parks, not just to Epic Universe. The buses here run about every 10 to 15 minutes. They'll take you out to City Walk so you can go to Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, take you to Volcano Bay, as well as to Epic Universe. Speaking of Epic Universe, this is one of the things here at Stella Nova that is unique to Stella Nova itself. There is a walking path that you can also take over to Epic, because we're right across the street. Not a far walk at all, probably about 3/4 of a mile if you're coming directly from the hotel lobby. So that is another perk that you have here. So if you don't want to have to wait for the buses, or it's a nice, beautiful day out, which probably not going to happen during the summer, but could happen during the fall or winter, you could take that walking path over to Epic Universe. Now, as I stated earlier, this is a prime value resort. Prime value resorts start about at $145, making their way all the way up to close to $400 per night, depending on the time of year, as well as any special events going on, such as a brand new park opening like Epic Universe or Halloween Horror Nights. You can see sometimes that the prices will go up a little bit more. So definitely check the calendars, see what the prices are, but this is definitely a more value resort that's going to give you more bang for your buck and be more budget friendly for those families.
Third floor.
Now, one last thing I wanted to show you guys is on level 3 here, they have a specialty hallway that is just lit up like the stars in Galaxy at night. And it's just the coolest thing. They do encourage you to come here and see it, take some pictures, but look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Ah, it's so pretty.
Is over there? Oh, it's there?
All right, you guys, we made it back to the room, and this is going to conclude our tour of Stella Nova. We got to see the entire outside and all the beautiful tile work that they did, the pool, the lobby, the food that they have to offer, as well as some of the other amenities and the room tour as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found some information that will help you and your family when you're planning your next trip here to Universal. If you were to ask me who this hotel is really good for, I would say anybody that's looking to stay on a budget. This is a very budget-friendly hotel. I mean, with nights starting at like $150, that's not bad at all, especially for Universal Park Resort, as well as anybody that's looking for the convenience of getting to Epic Universe. The fact that you can take a bus right across the street, take a walk over there, makes it so much easier than having to travel from the other resorts that are closer to the original parks. So for me, if you're looking for that convenience, this is the place to stay. However, if you are not going to Epic Universe and not planning on going to Epic Universe, this is not a hotel that you need to stay at. It is quite a distance from the original Universal parks, probably about a 15 to 20 minute bus ride. And so that's a little bit far for something that you don't necessarily need to be at. There are plenty of resorts over there at the City Walk area. You have Cabana Bay, you have Sapphire Falls, which I know it's not prime value, but it's still an option that you can luxuriate a little bit and have the convenience of being right there. They also have Aventura and a bunch of other hotels that you can stay at over there that will give you the convenience of being close to those parks versus Epic. But if you are staying at Epic, this would be a hotel that I would definitely recommend. This has a little bit of an up over Terra Luna, the sister hotel, because Terra Luna doesn't have a walking path. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly and convenience Epic Universe, Stella Nova is definitely a hotel that I would recommend. It doesn't have all the frills and luxury of, say, Helios, but it does have all the things that you need to be able to have a epic adventure on your trip here to Universal. So I would recommend this, especially for families, people focusing on budgets, and also people going to Epic Universe. So this is going to conclude our video today, but I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it, and I'm on my way to go make another video over at Epic. So I will see you soon, but until next time, I'm Shannon with One Spark of Magic, and I'm wishing you the most magical of days. Toodaloo.